What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the American people and how we're going to continue to wait for something that we have been looking forward to for many months and some multiple years. Now, what's happening at this time and in this very moment is having to do with Congress and their inability to pass any substantial bills. But I'm going to get to that in just a moment. First, all I ask is if you enjoy these daily updates, do me a favor, it takes just 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button, and let's begin. So this video here today is prompted because of this article right here. This is from Bloomberg and it came out today. It says Israel-Ukraine aid unlikely before 2024. Now I want to touch on this because I have been sent this by multiple people asking for my opinion. Do I think there will be any additional aid to either Israel or Ukraine here in 2023? And my answer is no. I don't think it's going to happen. Here's the reason why. Yes, we do know that Ukraine is in need of additional funding. However, in order for the United States to send additional funding to Ukraine, it has to pass through Congress. Congress is in charge of the purse strings. They will tell all of us where they're going to send money. As far as Israel, it doesn't matter if there's a crisis between Israel and Gaza. The United States still has to pass a bill that would allow us to send money and funding and additional aid to Israel. And at this time, Congress is unlikely to do so. Now, some say it is going to happen. We will get this bill passed before the end of the year. However, the end of the year is a little bit over 1 month. It's going to be rather difficult because Congress, when they come back, they only have really a couple weeks. They don't got much time in order to pass these bills. Now, here's where things are at right now. And it's talked about in the very first paragraph of this article. Look at this. It says new U.S. aid for Ukraine and Israel will be difficult to pass before the end of the year, according to the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Turner. He is a Republican. It says Congress remains at odds over proposed changes to securing the southern border. That's the big one. I want to read you his exact statement. You can see it right here, okay? It says Congress is going to require that there'll be laws changed to make certain that the border returns to its prior state. That could include restricting the entry of asylum seekers across the Mexican border and other provisions to secure it. Now, trying to get the southern border back to its prior state is going to be difficult. Number one, getting it back to its prior state means all the things that Democrats have done lately, they have to revert back. Because what we have seen is the amount of people coming into the United States under the Biden administration, the numbers are insane. They're incredible. Okay? When I say incredible, they're high. The reason this is a problem, the reason why Republicans say we need to address the border security first, and if we do that, then we can send money to Ukraine. We can send money to Israel. We can send additional aid to Gaza. We can do all those things, but we have to address the southern border first. The reason why they're saying that is because now Democratic governors and mayors are now asking the federal government to step in, provide additional stimulus and more payments to their states, to their cities, so that they can house these illegal immigrants. They can go and put food on the table. They can give them some type of health care. All this stuff is being paid by the American taxpayers. And that's where many people are questioning whether or not they support the current administration based off of their policies. Now, I'm not here to tell you that we're going to solve this southern border crisis. I don't think we will. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But at the same time, it's because of this ongoing crisis at the border, which was supposed to be headed up by Vice President Kamala Harris. Remember when President Biden first got in, he appointed Vice President Kamala Harris she was going to be the liaison, the expert on the southern border. How many times have you seen her down in the southern border? Once, twice, if that. So this is what Republicans are asking for. Okay, you want money for Ukraine? You want money for Israel? That's fine. You want money for Israel? We'll give you $14.3 billion, but you are going to have to pull that money from the IRS funding. Democrats said no. Then Republicans came back and said, okay, you want funding for Israel and Ukraine? Well, if you want the funding and the assistance for those two countries, guess what? You have to do something for stricter border policies, and then us as Republicans will jump on board. Democrats said, no, can't do that. And the reason why Democrats can't do that and Republicans are unwilling to pretty much dive in with Democrats and pass these bills, unless there's something in return for them, is we're 1 year away from an election. A big election, a presidential election. One that at this time has former President Donald Trump and current President Biden going head to head. If they go head to head, the expectation at this point, which is 1 year out, is that former President Donald Trump will win. All because of what has happened and what has transpired over the past few years. So, here's my warning to you. If you are expecting the Biden administration to pass bills, you're expecting Congress to pass a bipartisan bill, whether it's on border security, Israel, Ukraine, or a government funding bill, and you expect it to happen before the start of 2024, well, it's probably not going to happen. Don't place any bets on that, because there's so many other underlying issues that Congress has to face first, and at this time, it looks very unlikely that they will come together and pass a bipartisan bill. The other thing, we may not see a bipartisan bill in 2024 either. So if you are, let's say you are a mother and you have an infant, and you are collecting a food stamp program like WIC, guess what? WIC is on the verge of having to tell people that you're on a wait list. We cannot provide benefits to you because they're in need of additional $1 billion per year in funding. So that's where many many government programs are headed, is they need additional funding because the rise of everything else, that if funding stays the same, stays level, which is more than likely, they may have to make some cuts. They may have to make some changes. And if this happens, I would expect Democrats are going to come out and try to do a little bit more with Republicans. However, they may not do enough to pass any substantial bills that would actually impact you. So that's where we're at this time. I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on because, again, all this stuff is going to happen or it's expected to happen, but it might not happen before 2024. So we will continue to wait.